Often when somebody gets a terminal diagnosis, the elephant in the room is the question of, well, this is the diagnosis I've got. I know it's not curable. How am I going to die? How's the end actually going to happen? My normal practice is to offer to people to talk about how the end actually might happen. Usually the outcome of that conversation is people feel much less anxious than they did before. I think it's very much about the unknown and fearing the worst. When, in my experience, I've got to think back quite a long way to think when I last had a patient who died, whose symptoms were very difficult to control. So in my experience, most people have an okay death, and sometimes the events around it are much more than okay. They're actually enriching. And it's actually really uncomfortable. You feel like when you enter into a situation with a family that's grieving, and you've just never had that kind of intimacy and openness in a relationship. There's just a big disjunction. And then you're thinking, oh, are they comfortable with me, being here? And I'm not comfortable with it. And our relationship has suddenly been launched into a new level of intensity and intimacy. It's also the reason why it's important for us as a society to talk about these things and to find a way to make it not only in our thinking but feel at least a little bit more a normal part of life. So I think it's really important to think about it for yourself and to try and make some sort of peace with the fact that we're mortal and our lives come to an end. If we haven't done that, then it's much more difficult to relate to our family members and friends when they get a terminal illness, because we haven't processed that issue for ourselves. And it is part of life.